Record. Mic trigger.
So this is a Tales from the Vaults, and in this tale we're going to talk about Andy is going to tell us a story about something which happened.
9:59 p.m.
In a club. Well, it wasn't in a club. So, the second job where I worked was a security company. And there was a massive club in the centre of Manchester. There was a club called Timosa, it was called, and Gorvea. But anyway, it was this massive club, and there was going to be a bit of a rivalry, a turf war, because everybody that came up from that, they were gonna fight all these people, and there was lots and lots and lots and lots of drugs coming. There was people coming up to buy cocaine. There was people coming up to buy ecstasy, and there was people coming up to buy weed. And this one night, this guy was going to get wrong, because they were going to buy the drugs from the club and get there. And so there was a guy in a taxi, and they said, right, they want you to jump in the car, go get it, and then drive off. Because if you're going with a taxi driver, they can't stop the taxi. They can't pull the taxi. So you go in the club, you go in, you get the drugs, and then you come out, and then you meet the dealers, basically. But I was gonna go in there with the dealer, and I was gonna go out. So they was going in, and they basically, right, you pull up. Now, what they did was, they would have a taxi in front full of prostitutes, but they weren't actually prostitutes. They were prostitutes, but for that specific night, they were like shield girls, whatever you call them. And they were used because, again, they couldn't stop a taxi with prostitutes. Only recently they'd stopped the taxis with prostitutes, because in case they were drugged up. So anyway, or case they were being trafficked. And so we went in a taxi because we had to go in and get the drugs. We had to go in, get the cocaine. We had to go in and get the cocaine, and then we had to come out. And usually a weapon. Because basically the dealers, they would have a weapon or whatever. So you had to go in, and if the police showed up, you would taser the dealer and get the gun out of him. But this night, I was told if a dealer, because they knew this dealer was they basically knew this dealer was being grassed on. They knew this dealer was basically grassing on someone else, basically. And this other guy, and then they were going to go in, and if anything fucks up, they were going to shoot the gun out the dealer's hand. Yeah. So I'm like, when I'm on the phone, I says, is this guy a dickhead? And they're like, Andrew, do not badmouth our dealers. He says, you get in the car, you get to the club, you jump out of the car, you go in the club. If anything screws up, you shoot the gun out the hand. You grab the weapon, you grab the gear, you get out the club, and you wait for his word, and you go on. And then if the police arrive, you, what's the name do? So I goes in the club. The taxi goes there, we go round the back. Because the doorman on there, they didn't like us, they didn't like our gang, they didn't like our company because they knew they knew they were gangsters, didn't like the company, didn't like nothing. And the doorman there was gonna hurt me. He was gonna, if I walked straight in the front there, yeah, all right, my uniform, he'd kick my head in. That's the type of guy he was. So I went around the back, walked in the club. I was nervous as hell. I wasn't nervous of the doorman. I wasn't nervous of my head getting kicked in. I was more nervous of this going wrong, the police arresting me, than going in there and having to say to the police, oh yeah, I walked in there to get the drugs. Yeah? So, I'm walking in there with a fully loaded gun. A fully loaded gun. It was a assault rifle. I knew how to load guns and I knew how to shoot them. Because I was shown that in training. I knew how to taser. I was better with tasers than with guns. But my mate, that's right, I took a friend. I says, you're going to have to come in. I said, because I can't shoot properly. And I says, I don't want to shoot him in the head. And he says, this is the kind of guy that needs shooting in the head, So it's like, oh, well, you go in the club. What do you think's going to happen? So he walks in there, and the dealer's straight at the bar, right? The dealer's like, nose in. His head's like down. This guy's testing our car, no way. So walks in, snatches the bag, and this plug jumps me, this other plug, the dealer they had. I'm coming now.
10:07 p.m. 10:08 p.m. X7. PQRS. 8. TUV. Mic trigger. Mic lock. Button. Mic lock. Mic lock. Mic trigger. Mic lock. Button. Is on. Double tap to lock mic off. Use magic tap.
So yeah, I went into the club, and obviously, as the stuff's happening, I'm coming out.
11:13 p.m.
They're putting.
11:13 p.m.
They're sending they're bringing their guys round. They're coming in. The dealers coming in, and I've got to shoot the gun out this guy's hand, and obviously this guy's coming in. So, cut a long story short, the police turn up. Well, before the police turn up, this guy's coming up in his car, screeching up. The guy's coming in the club. The next minute, they're walking out, and they're walking towards the front door. And the cocaine's out, and whacker whacker, the police running to raid the club. So it's all going wrong because there's a car outside. The next minute, the taxi driver, they pull him out the window. Oh my gosh. And they're pulling all the, this other thing. So the next minute, I'm running out the back of the club. The police are there, all the armed police are there. And this guy's coming in. And by this point, I've gone up to the dealer in the club. And I've nabbed his stash. Next minute, I'm grabbing hold of the driver. 2 shoots go off, bang, bang. Another 2 shoots, bang. Then the police come in, the shutters are down in the club. We're out the back. The driver's getting punched in the head. These 2 knobheads. I'm getting away and I'm just like this. And I'm like, get your hands in here. The other one's like, don't get to the ground, get to the ground. Everyone's like, get to the ground. Everyone's running out the nightclub. And then this other one, this guy's running to the front, running to me. I'm like, this one's out of here. The car pulls in front. You know, the one with the, this other car pulls in front. The one with the prostitutes in. So they're pulling them out the car. Then this other car pulls in front of them. They're going to try. Well, if their car gets pulled, that's it. Everyone's raided out. Everyone's in the car. So we pull them, get them out of their car. Everyone's like that. So we just like this. The police are in the club by this point, and then the doorman, he's like, they slap the cuffs on the doorman straight off. They slap the cuffs on the other guy. The dealer, he can't make a run for it because everyone knows that he's a grass. So he's straight out the club. The dealer's straight out the other dealer. He's trying to fight the guy out, and then he pushes the guy. Next minute, before I get in the car, I'm calling up the guy on my mobile phone saying, you need to get here. There's armed police, there's this, that, the other. As I'm saying that, there's 6 of our lads there. 3 security vans. Then they're coming up. Then this guy's like, literally is like, Andy, you need to jump in the taxi and drive the taxi away. So I've got 4 working girls, shall we say, in the car. And I just grabbed the keys off the driver, jumped in the car, and literally floored it. And I was flooring this taxi. And they said, right, when you're 4 streets up, you're going to get everyone out of the car. And I've got a waiting car at the end of the street. So I was in that. Keys, everything. And the waiting car at the end of the street was this limo. And I had to just leave the keys in the taxi. Jump out, get everyone out. Get me out. Straight in this waiting car, this like stretch limo thing. Get back to the thing and hand over the drugs. And oh man, it was the most. And they said to me, but the next one, this is when I was out. They said, right, Andy, your next shift is you are going to drive a car. you're going to get to thing, you're going to pick up the drugs and you go straight. I was like, no way am I doing that. I mean, I've just done this, mate. I said, I could have been shot in the head. But oh no, I said, doesn't care. I said, you would have had me shot. Because I did another one before that one where there was a guy involved, there was two guys involved, there was two people. They had someone, but then we was picking up money. And we was picking up money, and then we was gonna deal from this other club, this other major club. But the guy that was picking up the drugs was taking them to strange ways. So it was like Operation Outside Prison, basically. But the dealer who was a grass, he just got a good kicking of these lads when he went somewhere else. There was a guy called Dominic Sheik, right? And he was a French guy, and he was part of the French mafia. And then you had another guy called Hassan Lee, right? Chinese gang, a Chinese guy. And the problem they had was there was
11:21 p.m. 11:21 p.m. 11:21 Spotify. 11:21 p.m. 11:21 p.m. Passcode field 0 of 4 values entered 0 7 PQRS 8 TUV. Mic trigger. Mic lock. Finish recording button.